Hello everybody, welcome to this video training. Today I'm going to show you how you can connect a voice voice over IP network to a remote site. If you remember, in the first CCNA Voice video, I show you how to set up a basic voice over IP network. So to refresh our memory, let's go to Cisco Packet Tracer. As you see in this diagram, I have a 2811 router that acts as a CME, two IP phone, and two PCs that are connected to a 2950 switch. So, and that switch is connected to the router. So for you guys that didn't watch the previous CCNA Voice video, I advise you to do it so you can catch up with this video. If you remember, the IP phone have successfully registered, and we can place call between them, and the PCs also have gotten their IP address through DHCP. So the network is fully functional, as you can see up here. So this IP phone has the extension number of 2001, and this one has the extension number of 2002. So if you watch the previous video. So, but one question I would like to ask is, can we make a call to a remote network? To answer this question, let's add a remote network to our topology. As you see, I already set up the remote site because the configuration is similar to the first site. And as you can see, the first site, I named this site the New York site, and the remote site, I name it the Boston site. So let's go to the presentation so I can show you the configuration on the Boston site. So I can, I'm not going to go through the configuration, I'm going to just show you what I put in, for the Boston site, I mean the remote site. So coming back to the presentation, first of all, we're going to start with the switch configuration. On the switch side, I create a VLAN 10, which that VLAN is named voice, and I assign 2 ports to that VLAN. And finally, I configure I configure the port that connect to the CME as a trunk port, as you see up here. So, and on the router side, I set up this router as a DHCP server with a pool which I name voice pool. And don't forget that option 150 up here, because that tells the IP phone where is the TFTP server, so they can download their firmware. So on the CME side up here, I define the maximum number of IP phone and the maximum number of the directory numbers. So you guys already know that. And this IP source address just mean that this is where this IP phone, the IP phone will use this address in order to register to the CME using this port number up here. And this is the CNF file is just to get to create the XML file which the IP phone will use in order to function properly. So let's continue to the CME configuration. We finish up here. Finally, we come with the ephone configuration. On first, we register the phone using the ephone command by linking that ephone to the MAC address, as you see up here. And we define the number for the phone. So the number, we define the directory number, as you see up here. And finally, we come to the button configuration, so the IP phone can get extension number to the CME. So I hope you guys know that. So let's go back to Cisco Packet Tracer. because I want to show you now. I have this site. The first site we built is the New York side, and the remote site is called the Boston side up here, as you see up here. So usually those sites will be connected through the ISP, but since we are using packet tracer, I'm gonna connect those two sites. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use a crossover cable up here. So connect those two sites, FA0/1 up here to FA0/1. But just put in mind that this is just a lab, you know. But in the real world, those sites will be connected through the ISP. But I want to just simulate a connection between two sites up here. That's why I use this connection. So let me go to this interface up here. Interface FA0/1. FA0/1, as you see up here. And I'm gonna do IP address. IP address. I'm gonna use this IP address 41. That's the range. So usually we're gonna use a public IP address .0.0.1, and the subnet mask I'm gonna use a /30 subnet mask 255.255.255.252. So that's going to be the IP address, and I'm going to do a no shutdown up here. Okay, and now this interface is up, and it has a public IP address. So same thing I will do. I will do the same thing for this router up here. So I'm going to go to this interface FA0/1, and I'm going to do IP address 41.0. Do 41.0.0.2 with the /30 subnet mask 255.255.255.252. And I'm going to do a no shutdown up here. No shutdown. And now both interfaces are up, so those sites should be connected. But the problem we have up here, you see this phone, they can call each other within the site, you know, like phone IP phone 1 can call IP phone 2, but if up here IP phone 1 cannot call IP phone 0. Like if we try to do that, it's not going to work, because this CME up here don't know how to reach those IP phone up here. So if I try to do that, let me open up this phone up here, 2001, and I'm gonna try to dial 1002. Let's say 1002. It's a unknown number. The reason why is we didn't. We have to define what we call. We have to define what we call a dial pair, and this is the configuration up here. A dial pair is like is similar to a static route. You know, it defines where the call originate and terminate. So you have to keep that in mind. So we're gonna have, and it's gonna be 3 commands we're gonna need in order to define or to configure this dial pair. In order to configure the dial pair, we use this command called dial pair voice, and this command take 2 parameters. The first parameter is a tag, which I'm going to show you when we go through the configuration, and the next parameter is what we call VOIP, because we are working with voice over IP. Because there is no other type of the dial pair that we call parse dial pair, but that the parse dial pair we're going to use that with the analog phone. If you guys know that, if you don't know that, keep in mind that there is 2 types of dial pair VOIP and dial pair what we call parse dial pair. Just keep that in mind. So, and once we do that, we're going to be in the sub mode configuration, dial pair sub mode configuration, and we're going to use this command up here called the session target command. And this session target command is the network address of the remote router to which you want to send the call. You know, like when I go through the configuration, you're gonna understand this how this session target work. And finally, we're gonna define what we call the destination pattern. And the destination pattern takes the parameter the extension. I put up here range of extension, but if you want, you can put just one extension. But usually, you're gonna put a range of extension in order to make your life easier. Using this what we call the wildcard digit up here. If you see this wildcard digit, there is some rules up here for you guys that don't want to play more with that. But with packet tracer, you are limited because a lot of these wildcard digit doesn't work with packet Cisco doesn't work with Cisco packet tracer. I just put that in this presentation for you guys to have an idea for the wildcard digit, because this wildcard digit is going to make your life easier. And I'm going to show you that through the configuration of this through this dial peer configuration when we go to Cisco packet tracer. So let's go to Cisco packet tracer. But before I go to dial peer configuration, you know, this network up here, I mean this network up here is the 192.168. Let me put it up here. It is the 192.168.1.0 slash 24 network. So this network is that's the network up here, and this router doesn't know about this network. So we have to define a dynamic route or static route. For simplicity, I'm gonna use a dynamic route, and this router doesn't know about this network up here because we have two network up here. We have the 192.168.10.0 network slash 24, and we have the 192.168.20.0 slash 24. We have those two network. So as you see up here, so I'm going to try to go and use the OSPF routing protocol in order to do the configuration for routing. That is very simple, you know. So I'm going to start with this CME up here, CME1, that router 1. So I'm going to do exit from here. I'm going to do router OSPF 1, and I'm going to do network 192.168.0.0, and the wildcard I'm going to do 0.0.255.255 area 0. Okay, so and the next network is going to be the 41 network. I'm going to do network 41.0.0.0, and I'm going to do 0.0.0.3. No, sorry about that. That 3, and I'm going to do area 0. Okay, and now I'm done with that router, and I'm done with this configuration up here for router 1 for OSPF. I'm going to go to router 2. I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to do router exit from here. I'm going to do router OSPF 1, and I'm going to do network. I didn't want to watch you, so I just pause with the video and I do the same thing for, you see, as the network, those router has formed networks through OSPF. So I think now the routing protocol is working, and those router should be aware about the network I was showing you. Like this router should be aware about this 192 network .168.1.0, and this router up here should be aware about this network 192. Those two network up here, 192.168.10.0 and 192.168.20.0. So if I do a show IP route quickly, and as you see up here, excellent, it knows about this network up here. As you see up here, the 192.168.1.0, and this router also should be aware about this this network up here. Show IP route, and you see, excellent, it knows about these two network up here. Excellent. So so I hope you guys now don't forget at this step, because the routing protocol is very important. We have to define the IP connectivity first before we talk about IP phone connectivity, you know, before we talk about voice over IP connectivity. That's what I mean. So now let's go through the dial peer configuration. Let's go back to the presentation. Up here, this dial peer configuration, we're going to start first of all with the let's go back to Cisco Packet Tracer. We're going to start with CME router 1 up here, and we have to be on the global configuration mode. I'm going to do conf T and dial peer. The command we need is dial peer, and let's use the question mark. And I told you that's the command is dial peer voice, and the parameter is going to take, first parameter is the tag. The tag can be 1 through all the way this big number up here. So I'm going to use up here 200 for simplicity, you know, and you can use any number you want, you know. And what kind of dial peer? Of course, I told you we are using VOIP dial peer, because there is two type, but for me, for this video, I'm going to focus on just the dial peer, the VOIP dial peer. So I'm going to do VOIP dial peer, and and that's it, you know. VOIP dial peer. So we define now. This is just to define the dial peer number, to give the dial peer a number, which is number 200. So now we are on the sub mode, the dial peer sub mode configuration. So now the next step is to use the session target command in order to tell this router, the session target command is to tell the router how to reach those this IP phone. If you go back to Cisco Packet Tracer up here, okay, now we're gonna use the session target command. Session target command, and if you use the this is not very helpful for you guys. It's gonna ask you, say words up here, because I think Cisco need to do a better job with this help sensitive command up here, because where you need to put up here this the parameter you need to put is IPv4. You have to do IPv4, and you put a double a colon up here, and now you specify the IP address which this router will be going in order to reach those IP phone up here. So they like this, if those phone want to dial this IP phone, they're going to use this router up here. So the IP address for this router is 41.0.0.2. So let me go back to the configuration. So I'm going to do 41.0.0.2, and that's it. Now we define the target, and now the next step is, and it is the final step, is the destination pattern. And this is telling the extension number this router knows about. It's just like routing, configuring starting routing, you know. We're going to tell this router know about this extension 1001 and 1002. So I'm going to do destination pattern. Let's go up here. I'm going to do destination pattern. As you see up here, destination pattern, and I'm going to do 1001 because the router know about that number. And I'm going to do destination pattern again, 1002. But the reason why I'm doing it phone by phone, so I do destination pattern. I tell that I say this router or this CME up here know about this phone, this number up here, this phone number up here, 1001, and this extension number 1002. But imagine if I have 1,000 phones or 1,000 numbers on this side up here. If I have to enter them one by one, it's not going to be easy. That's the reason why I told you the wildcard digit will make your life easier. Like if I put a dot up here, a dot, let's say a dot, you know. So if I put, let's go back to Cisco Packet Tracer. I'm going to show you. Like if I say, instead of using the number one by one for the destination pattern, I do destination pattern and I put a dot. If I put a dot, that means destination, this router know about everything that start with 100 with a digit from 0 to 9. That's what this dot means. So it knows about 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005 until you get to 1009. That's what this dot means up here. So I think you guys can play with those wildcard digit if you have real Cisco devices, because with Packet Tracer you are very limited with the wildcard digit. I would like to mention that, you know. Okay, now for the CME router 2, I did the same thing. I did create a dial peer voice tag with 100, and I do the session target IPv4 and destination pattern I see up here. So everything should be working right now. So let me go back to IP phone, the IP phone 1, and I'm gonna try to dial again 1002, and you see the phone is ringing. It's say ringing out. Let's open up. No, it is it is IP phone 3. Let's open this IP phone 3. Let's go, and you see the phone is ringing. Say the phone is ringing. We can pick up, and now we have the phone. We are connected. So that I mean this dial is this voice over IP network is fully functional. So I can call through the remote side from the New York side to the Boston side. I can make phone calls. So this basically this is what I was trying to show you. So you guys can play with that, and I'm gonna try to give you the configuration for those. I'm gonna make it a file, so you guys can download that file in order to play with this configuration. So I hope you guys learned something from this video. I would like to thank you for watching, and I see you for my next video. Thanks.